What is going on, you guys? It is the day after Strongsville weekend, and I wanted to do one last video talking about my thoughts as a non-vintage collector about this past weekend. Um, I know I would say majority, not a vast majority, but a majority of the YouTube community these days is vintage collectors, but there's still a really large amount of us that aren't. And the first part of this video is really going to be talking to you about Strongsville and is it the show for you, and kind of maybe my thoughts of it. And so I would say the show has a ton of vintage. I mean, that's the whole point of the show. There was 2 tables of Pokemon there. They definitely looked out of place. They were out of place. And there was probably 4 or 5 tables of modern. And they had a decent selection, nothing crazy. They didn't have like value boxes of modern cards that I seen or anything. But if the show's the secondary reason you're going, and you're mainly going out to hang out with your YouTube buddies, then there's still, plenty of reason to go, because there's going to be a little bit of something there for you to look at. There was plenty of stuff in the 80s. I know some of you consider the 80s vintage, some don't. And then for TTMers, it seems like there's more TTMers now in the community more than ever. This is definitely a great show for you, because once again, a lot of the older dudes are the ones that sign, and you can go and pick up their cards there. Some are relatively cheap, some are overpriced, but hey, you're there in person and you actually get to see the condition of the cards and all that. So that's kind of my thoughts on it as a non-vintage collector. Would I go again? You bet your ass I would. Absolutely. Wouldn't even think twice. If I could book my flight right now, I would book my flight right now. Amazing time. It's wild. I've been on YouTube for, I think it's about 2 months shy of 14 years. And that's of making content. That's not, I started a channel and, I collected Pogs, and then I collected freaking Barbies, and then 5-10 years later I started collecting cards. That's collecting cards from the get. And the only breaks I've ever taken is during the 4 deployments that I did while I was on YouTube. So the only break I ever took. And this weekend really renewed my love for the community. Like, why the hell would I do this for so long? To the best of my knowledge, I think the only active YouTuber that has me beat is Ed. And I'm wanting to say Ed Westergriff has about 5 months on me. I know Mike O's been at it for 10 years, and I believe Baseball Collector has about 8 years. So I've been at this thing for a while, man. And seeing that group this weekend, so cool, man. So cool. I mean, we have it at the National, it's the same group, but there's so many hotels that they're all over the place. You may not meet up. You have the Misfits at this house, and you have the freaking Dingleberries at this house, and all the other people, down the road. And so you really don't get together every night like you do at this place. It absolutely renewed my love for this community on why we do it, man. It was just so cool. Another thing I thought was cool, other than the punch in the wiener about paying the tax man, and that's why I couldn't go for the 52 mantle, was the amount of people that cared enough and were excited to ask me about, are you getting it? I'm a big Mike Petty fan. He's snarky and a smart ass and can come off as kind of smug. That's my kind of guy. That's me. I don't really know him. He doesn't really know me. He came up to me and was like, had a huge ass cheeser on his face, man, asking if, was it true? Was I going after the 52? And multiple other dudes, and it just means something to me, you know. And there was enough people that were excited and cared enough to ask about me, you know, ask about that card. So that was really cool. The camaraderie, the cliques. There's a lot of cliques there, you know. Everyone just kind of has those dudes that they just really, you know, click with, me included, and they still are kind of cliquish a little bit, but it's everyone's welcome in the clique, man. That this weekend, it didn't matter, you know, who was talking to who. I think Canadian Cards and I were at the bar every night, but Math Bowler came up to us one night and talked for like, I think it was like 2 hours. It felt like 10 minutes. It just flew by. And meeting Steven and hearing his story and all that, and just, you know, I think the next night after the trade night, Jason, Everyday Card Collector, and a couple other dudes came out and sat down next to us, and just super cool. You know what I mean? Going out to eat with the guys, it's like you almost have to fight to pay for your meal. Like the only way I was able to pay for a meal this weekend was I had to do the old I'm going to the restroom so I could pay for someone's freaking meal, because people were paying for my meal like twice in a row. And, you know, I'm kind of a puff, puff, pass kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just going to, I'm a giver. I'm not a taker. I don't like taking handouts and freebies, but I enjoyed doing it. So just the generosity, man, was just flowing. Seeing Orlando was awesome. God, dog, dude, how can you not be happy around that guy? It's impossible. Man, Orlando, I don't know what kind of juice you're drinking in the morning to make you so happy, but my Lord, the world could use a cup of that every morning, and we would all be better off. I had a nice talk with Theo, Clemente Collector. He's another guy I've never talked to. He didn't know me. I really didn't know him. He might have watched my videos. I watch just about all the For Collector stuff, and I watch some of the stuff on his channel. Amazing dude. Absolutely amazing guy. Talking to him about the trade night and what him and the other 4 collectors had to do to make it happen, and the work that they had to put into it. And he wasn't bitching, complaining. Like, he kind of was of the mindset of give me more. Like, he was really, really happy and excited to have been able to do that for everybody. And kind of looking for tips and ideas to make it bigger. I think what the 4 collectors have started has the potential to be really big for them. And when it's big for them, it's big for us. I will say my ignorance of what a trade night was definitely came out. I didn't show my ass too much, but Theo came to the table and was like, so what'd y'all think? And I was like, that wasn't a trade night, man. That was a card show. And someone asked, well, when's the last time you went to a trade night? And I was like, never. And they were like, they're all like that. And I was like, oh, just put freaking, pie on my face. Super cool, man. It was like a whole card show with nothing but YouTubers set up. Well, for the most part, nothing but YouTubers as the dealers, which was pretty cool. So, I mean, the deals were flying. If you really wanted a card, like, they were going to give you a great deal because they knew who you were and they knew what you were about. So that was really nice. Another guy I met, Big Greg, Midlife Cards. I've really taken to Greg a lot. Just his mindset on his videos. In full transparency, Greg, I do think you run a little long sometimes. You are a little long-winded. I don't have time to do freaking that long videos that many times a week. But I love his mindset and his thoughtfulness. And It comes out on his videos and in person. Such a great person, man. Such a great person. I really wish, he's kind of the guy that came to mind. I really wish I would have taken more phone numbers and more selfies. By more selfies, I mean I didn't take any. Not one. That's normally not like me. I guess I was just living in the moment, which there's nothing wrong with that either. Reuben Snyder. He's a guy, I'll be 100% honest with y'all. I didn't know who he was. I didn't. I had to ask Canadian Mike, and he's like, "Oh, he's a big commenter." Man, you want to talk about a dude that I feel like I've known my whole life? Holy crap! Definitely tell that dude had been in the military a long time, because he is just as loud and obnoxious and blunt and curses. Maybe, no, not more than me. Almost as much as me. And I really like that guy. And I mean, that dude seemed to be around us all weekend. Like everywhere I turned, boom, there was Reuben Snyder. And man, what a treat, man. What an awesome surprise. We were able to talk about our careers and make fun of each other. In the military, it's one huge brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like the Army guys are going to make fun of the Navy, the Marine, and the Air Force guys, and the Air Force guys are going to make fun of these branches, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, but it's kind of like one of those things of, I can mess with them, but if you're not in the club, you haven't served, you don't freaking mess with them. And man, he was busting my balls, and I was busting his balls. And Reuben, I hadn't had that kind of camaraderie since before I retired, or that kind of interaction. And then when I was talking to like active duty friends of mine, was the last time I had banter like I did this weekend with you, man. That was super cool. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people might have been like, "Ooh, that's a bit harsh." That was 22 years of my life was just like that. Mookie Chilson, the CEO of the Mookie Chilson Worldwide Headquarters. I think they just overtook Apple this past week on the stock exchange. You know, I'm a broken freaking record, and I'm sorry. Such a good dude, man. Very happy. Just every time I seen him, man, he had a smile on his face and just super pleasant to be around. I kind of wish I would have hung out with him more. But man, good dude. Good dude. I seen him one day at the show without any Mets gear on, and I was like, felt like he was naked or something. I was like, "Whoa, man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "You don't think Mookie Chilson without thinking about the Mets." And not that I've seen him a ton, but every time I had seen him, he was wearing Mets swag. So it was so weird to see him without any. Don, Field of Dreams, buddy, it was great to see you. I didn't know you were coming, so it was really cool to see you there. We didn't talk that much, but it's good to see you, my friend. Chris from Missouri, man, you want to talk about a dude with a sense of humor and quick? I'm talking like Grease BB quick. Man, that dude, he is funnier than hell, and he is quick as could be, man, with his comebacks. You know, I came up from behind him one night, and I put my hands on his shoulder, and I was expecting a little like, "Oh, hey," and I got nothing. So I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm pushing the limit until I get something." So I started going down his body, across his nipples, and he turned around and said, "I'll give you an hour to stop that." And I'm like, dude, I laughed my ass off, man. You know, when most people would be like, hey, what's up, man? You know, not Chris, dude. He just let the good times roll. That had me rolling, man. And Chris, man, if there was anyone that ever loved this show, it's not just on video, folks. Like, that dude truly loves, screw the show, not the show. Chris loves what this weekend represents and what this weekend is about. And the weekend isn't necessarily about cards. I think it has become about us, about you and I, and hanging out together and getting to know each other. I would say the camaraderie is probably better here than the national. Just like I said earlier, because the national's so busy and we're all so spread out. You know, there's a tops night, there's a net 54 night. Now Ash has a dinner at night, and you know, these people have a meetup and those people have a meetup, and you're really kind of almost forced to be spread thin because you can't be at all the events. Well, here in Strongsville, you can be at all the events. So, man, it's amazing time. I wanted to do a little giveaway. I had some shirts made for some of my buddies because I thought I was buying a 52 mantle. I commissioned Scott to make what I think are just some insanely badass shirts, and then I bought them, and I didn't buy the 52 mantle, but I definitely had to buy the shirts because I told Scott I would. So what I have is I have 4 shirts. Yeah, I have 4 shirts left. 3 larges, 1 extra large. And they do run about a size small. So if you are an extra large, like none of these would fit you. You know, if you're a large, the extra large might fit you. If you're a medium, or maybe you want your kids or wife to wear one, maybe they might fit into it. But here's what I had them made, and I'm kind of, if I wasn't upset enough, this shirt's freaking, in my opinion, awesome. I had Scott do his rendition of the 1952 tops. Of course, he had to change the Yankees logo, you know, trademarked and so on and so forth. But it does say there at the bottom, Strongsville 2025. And then on the back, just a bigger image of Scott's version of the 1952 tops. My Lord, what an artist. You know what I mean? Absolutely beautiful. Scott, thank you. You know, he gave me what I felt was an insanely smoking hot deal. Thank you. I think the artwork is absolutely, oh gosh, dog, I kind of folded it like all jacked up. But if you want one, just leave a comment down below. And, you know, I'll just pick some people at random. I will say, if your name is baseball collector, Canadian cards, Triple Crown 24, those back pages, or she blinded me with a refractor, don't leave a comment. Because you will not be entered into the giveaway. Just because those are my closest friends on YouTube, I think would be unfair if they were in. So if you want one of those, by all means, put a comment down below. They're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous shirts. So I'm going to put some photos at the end of this. I know it's already ran long. I really don't care. I put some photos from the weekend here after this. But until next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye. Doodles.